Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I am your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope everybody had an amazing weekend as we are ready to rock and roll heading into the new week. For those of you new to the channel, do me a favor, click that little subscribe button down below so that you get the updates as they become available. And then also, for those of you new, what we do is look at the same 10 to 12 futures markets every day, identifying potential turning points and trades as they occur. Let's dive right in. We're down a little bit in pre-market trading today, down about almost 12 points here on the S&P. As we can see that we have kind of come down. I had this breakout line up above here, been unable to break through there, but I don't really have any strong reversals here. And so on Friday, I talked about there wasn't a whole lot here that I wanted to do, and the reason for that should be pretty evident. I think there's a good chance we continue to move down in the overnight hours, but I don't have a great reversal point, and I also don't have a great breakout trade point. So I'm really going to leave the S&P alone. Now, I will say this. In the NASDAQ, I've got a level down here where we may see a bit of a reversal. The NASDAQ is slightly outperforming the S&P, although down, a little over, they're both down around 0.45% so far today. Little potential reversal point here. Now, I'm not typically a huge fan of these in the overnight hours, so be very cautious with this. You can still do a set it and forget it style if you want. It may be, depending on your risk tolerance, a little wide for your taste. 72.24 by, you got to go down to like 72.04. It's about 20 points wide, maybe a bit more. So it depends on your, what your risk tolerance is on that NASDAQ trade. If we get a little reversal out of that. Crude oil. So crude oil, we have come back down to our reversal point. The problem with this is we're chopping before the reversal point. So this is still a confirmation style entry. We'd have to get down to about 63.85 before I'd be willing to get long. And then I get long as it comes back out of the level. Now, that being said, this is one that you might want to monitor, which makes it a little bit difficult in the overnight hours and in the evening. So we'll look at this one tomorrow morning and see what it has done. And then gold. So gold has moved down sharply from our level here. If you were able to catch that gold trade, huzzah, good on you. My guess is you probably closed it over the weekend and didn't hold anything over the weekend as it's rallied up just a pinch since hitting that little bit of a bottom. Looking at this though on a slightly bigger scale. On a bigger scale here, one of the things that I do find kind of interesting in gold, and I've been holding some longer term gold. We are coming. Actually, let me look at this on the weekly. It's a bit easier to see on the weekly. So on the weekly, we've got this triangle pattern or so, if you will. And we've come back down to what could be a decent longer-term buy. This is the weakest, though, that I've seen gold in a while. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a decent longer-term buy. We have kind of maybe possibly broken through that trend line, confirmed. Today being the first day, so we'll see if that does indeed bring it down. Now that would ideally shows strength overall in the markets with that weakness in gold. Looking at the ZN, our 10-year note, still in between our areas. Remember, this was a breakout before an announcement, so I said I was going to leave this one in play. Nothing here for me to add. Looking at the Aussie. So in the Aussie, I'm going to add this area up here. Now, this is before the contract rollover, so be a little bit more cautious with it, but I think that you could get a little reversal back here if indeed it does make it all the way back to that region. In the Euro, we've gapped up after, come back down, gapped up on the contract rollover, gapped down over the weekend. So I'm actually going to leave this completely alone. And then the Canadian dollar was a breakdown from this region. It's still continuing its move down. For those of you that closed it over the weekend, I would find nothing wrong with reopening it. I got to go out to a weekly chart here to see that I don't have any real stopping until down here, which when I take that back out to the hourly chart, is fairly far away. So there's still plenty of room for this to run down. I think that we may still get another leg down from here. Whoops. Let me just reset this thing. I lost it. All right. One of the pitfalls of this platform is sometimes you'll lose it if you zoom in the wrong way. I think we still could break down from this region here. I'd like to see a little bit of a rally up from here, a little more basing, and then another shot at a breakdown if you didn't get in it the first time that it hit. Looking at the Great British Pound, Japanese Yen, Great British Pound's down just a smidge here in pre-market trading, not a whole lot happening. Japanese Yen is just chopping around. So both of those, not a whole lot of love. You could theoretically get a little bit of a long out of the yen just above here. And we've been, jumping through there. It's a little weaker opportunity, but I still think it's an opportunity nonetheless where we could get a bit of a a bit of a breakout through there. It's going to be a short-lived one, though, so you got to be willing to trade it in the overnight hours. That being said, that's about all I have really for this evening. If there's anything tomorrow worth doing, I don't always do a Monday morning video since there's typically not a lot of change between the Sunday night and the Monday morning. But if there is, I will be back on tomorrow morning. Until then, talk to you soon. Hope everybody had a great weekend and a happy Father's Day to all of you out there that are fathers. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.